my place, and I am welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. Today is October the 11th, and it's Vesna Mitchell, your ministry coordinator for Unity York Region. We're here today for service at 10:30 this morning, and I'm excited to announce we have Reverend Irene today doing our special Thanksgiving service, Thanksgiving for Grumblers Anonymous. I love the title. Grumbling and complaining is a common human way to cope with disappointments and life circumstances, challenging life circumstances. We're all there. I don't know about you. I know I am. And even though it might bring some temporary and feelings of self-righteousness, it does rob us of our joy. And Reverend Irene is going to talk to us today about how we can explore unique perspectives on Thanksgiving rituals and begin to shift our own consciousness. So I'm ready for it. I don't know about you. Thank you, Reverend Irene. And just for those of you who don't know Reverend Irene, she has been a part of our team since really from the beginning. She is a retired educator and management consultant and a former high school teacher, principal, and superintendent of schools. So teaching is just what she's always done. After taking an early retirement, she became a Unity minister, and she's retired from full-time ministry, but currently keeps herself busy by participating with Unity Worldwide Ministries, Unity Canada, and Unity Ministry in Motion. And with Unity York Region, she's one of our mentoring ministers, and as a guest speaker and workshop presenter as needs arise or whenever Spirit provides opportunities to serve, especially here for us today. So thank you, Irene. And we're going to begin our service with some gratitude. Thank you for this day by Karen Drucker.
Say thank you, thank you, thank you, 'cause I'm so grateful, oh grateful, I'm so grateful. So I want to say thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Now thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing I'm so grateful, so grateful, so grateful, so grateful, so grateful, so grateful. I'm so grateful. I wanna say thank you. And just thank you. I wanna say thank you. Thank you. Cause I'm so grateful. Yeah. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I wanna just say thank you now. Just thank you now. 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 Each and every day I'm gonna say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you to Karen Drucker for this awesome song. And if we can get comfortable in our seats as I begin the invocation. So I'm going to invite you to just place your feet firmly on the ground, place your hands on your lap. You can keep your eyes open or closed, whatever you feel most comfortable or called to do as we begin the process of letting go by taking in a nice deep breath in. And we're going to release that breath really slowly, allowing our bodies to feel heavier and relaxed into our seats. Let's take another deep breath in. And as we release the breath, we set the intention to let go of everything we were thinking, everything we were doing, everything we were feeling up until this very moment, knowing that there's nowhere else that we have to be, but right here, right now, centering ourselves in the one truth that there is only one God, one power, one spirit or universal intelligence. And the word God is just a name for the indescribable. It is the source of life and its resting place. Each universe and everything within is of God, and there is more God than there can be known. Its light shines forth equally in all directions, extinguishing the facade of darkness, and its light cast upon every moment, revealing what is really happening. The universal soul, always available, always perfect in the singular manifestation by which it is known. God, a word for love, for kindness, compassion, for eternal peace. As God is infinite, and each one of us is of God, from God, a piece of this larger life in the singular. Within us is peace, harmony, and love. All this fills our spirit. Our thoughts, influenced by these qualities, create our beautiful and magnificent lives. It can't be otherwise. As this is true for each one of us, we know it is true for all of us. We are all in a special relationship with the divine. Every subjective or objective thing, known or unknown, emanates from the one. As life pours forth in spirit, it flows through us. Our unified spirit is a vital force in this creative process. This creative process is not bound by precedent because God is infinite and life expands safely and harmoniously. In quiet meditation, the voice, the one voice, speaks through our soul, and we live in peace by its wise counsel. And it's in this quietness, what appears to be ordinary is revealed to be truly extraordinary. We are one with this moment and grateful to know that we are part of this stunning and gorgeous miracle of life. There's nothing to control, manage, or worry about because life unfolds perfectly, and we as ride this wave as gratitude with the wave of gratitude, knowing our part is to be present, nothing more. We rest in the loving arms of the divine, the lover of our soul, and surrender to that still small voice within. Any weight carried on our shoulders falls into nothingness, for it is not real. It is only a thought, a dream. For this awareness, we are blessed. For our individual life, for our collective life, we are grateful beyond words, and we practice gratitude by sharing our presence with those who are in our presence. As this practice of gratitude is self-perpetuating and sends currents of good into the universe, we use this prayer as a reflection upon time after time by us. It belongs to the collective, and so it is. Amen. Unity York Region, our group, has a vision, and that vision is shared by Unity Worldwide Ministries. And if we can affirm this vision together, just read the words on your screen, because there's power in numbers. A world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. And yeah, it's happening, folks, as we speak. And the mission for our group, so this is how we embody that vision, is we are a vibrant, thriving, spiritual community serving the world by embodying unity principles of higher consciousness. And the affirmation that ties the vision and mission together ever so perfectly and very tidily is God is, if we can affirm it together, God is, I am, we are together transforming the world. And I am so proud to say that Unity is an inclusive community. Our group, we are an inclusive community. We welcome and embrace people of every race, culture, lifestyle, and creed. Whoever you are, come as you are, and you are welcome here at Unity. Now, one of our prayer projects is praying with Unity Centers across Canada. So for the month of October, the entire Canadian movement, so that's all Unity Centers across the country, affirms prosperity, peace, and harmony for these Unity Centers. It's Unity Church of Mississauga in Mississauga, Ontario, and Unity of Barrie Study Group. Some of you might even be on this Zoom call right now. So we say yes to prosperity, peace, and harmony for these Unity Centers. Amen. And so it is. And now we have the daily word, which will be read by Susan Ferrante. So Susan, if you can unmute yourself.
Good morning, everyone, and happy Thanksgiving. So the daily word for today is prosperity. I am comfortable with the person I see in the mirror as I begin my day. I am filled with energy and enthusiasm for my work, my recreation, time with family or friends, or time for learning and reflection. My gratitude grows throughout the day as I take part in activities I enjoy and spend time with people I care about. As I prepare for sleep, I am grateful for the blessings of a day well lived. More than money or possessions, prosperity is an awareness of well-being, my ability to enjoy simple blessings. I strengthen my prosperity consciousness as I bless and appreciate my home, my friends and family, and my work. I increase the flow of abundance by sharing my time, talents, and treasure in service to others. And the reading for today is Psalm 23, verse 6. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord my whole life long. And let's repeat the affirmation together. I am prosperous as I enjoy my daily blessings.
Thank you, Susan. That was great.
Thank you.
And Unity York Region has a prayer chaplaincy program, and it is alive and well and thriving. Thank you to everyone who's been reaching out. We're here for you, the prayer chaplains. You simply need to email us at contact@Unity York Region or call the 1-800 number on your screen, the 1-888-980-6881. Leave a message. We can either call you back or simply take your prayer request, where we will be praying on it and then sending it down to Silent Unity, where our prayer ministry, which it'll be prayed on 24/7 for 30 days. You can call Silent Unity directly at the number on the screen, 1-800-NOW-PRAY, and someone's always available to pray with you 24 hours a day. They also save your, pray on your prayer request for 30 days. After that, you get a lovely letter in the mail letting you know that they're doing so. Or you can go onto the website, just Google Silent Unity prayer request, and you can put your prayer request directly, send it directly online to Silent Unity on their website. And next we have More Than Enough by Daniel Namod.
There is more than enough in a universe that you created. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough for humanity made in your image. Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Your infinite love made me, made everything I see, and all that will ever be is your infinite love. Let my soul know the truth, whatever I choose to do, your infinite love will prove more than enough. There is more than enough in a universe that you created. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough for humanity made in your image. Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Why would I worry? Why would I doubt? Why would I ever think I'd go without? Your infinite love made me, made everything I see, and all that will ever be is your infinite love. infinite love. Let the world know the truth, whatever we choose to do, your infinite love will prove more than enough, more than enough, more than enough.
And now we have our announcements. We are continuing our study of Brené Brown's profoundly enlightening book and empowering book, Daring Greatly. This week, we are going to begin discussing Chapter 4. It will be a 2-week discussion. Chapter 4, it's a big, meaty chapter. So so we look forward to seeing you there this Thursday, October the 15th at 7:30. Look out for that link in our Monday announcement, as well as the actual link will be sent out on Thursday as well. You don't need the book to be part of the conversation. There will be quotes provided from the book, and really the topic of vulnerability and how to heal shame and how to to become more vulnerable and empowered in your life. It's something we can all participate in. So please join us, whether you have the book or not. The book is great, but you don't need it to be part of the discussion. It's a very engaging conversation, a lot of sharing, and a lot of, profound realization. So I look forward to seeing you there. And next week's service, we have licensed Unity teacher Wendy Carr, and the service will be about how to make Thanksgiving last beyond the leftovers. And that would be great because my leftovers last forever. So it'll be about how Thanksgiving dinners and Sunday talks have something in common. They nourish us in the moment, but more often than not, we forget the specifics. So Wendy is going to explore ways of finding and carrying the gifts of the moment throughout our lives. And I really look forward to that. And I look forward to seeing you there. And next we have Choose What I Say by Kit Holmes, and that will be followed by Reverend Irene and her talk.
Words give us poems and lyrics and rhymes, novels and lines from a play. On rocks and on pages, all through the ages, we try to express the same way. Words are the seeds that made you and me, and gave us our nights and our days. So I carefully, consciously, willingly, thoughtfully, lovingly choose what I say. Some words are diamonds, like wisdom and love, integrity, courage and trust. But if we should give them to folks who don't live them, their meanings scatter like dust. Words are the seeds that made you and me, and gave us our nights and our days. So I carefully, consciously, willingly, thoughtfully, lovingly choose what I say. Words are the weapons that fire the first shot in all the wars ever begun. We check off our lists and clash with our fists when we really should be holding our tongues. Words are the engines that move us through life, holding us safe on the tracks. consciously, willingly, thoughtfully, lovingly choose what I say. Words of advice, be patient and nice. The world wasn't made in a day. So carefully, consciously, willingly, thoughtfully, lovingly choose what you say.
Everybody, I'm sorry. I tried to do this in advance and have it all set up, and obviously I'm still not that familiar with how to do things on Zoom. But we thank Zoom for being there as we have needed this technology. And so the talk today is a Thanksgiving meeting for Grumblers Anonymous. When I started to get ready to do the Thanksgiving talk, I really wanted to have a different perspective on Thanksgiving, and I wasn't sure where to go with it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with traditional approaches to Thanksgiving, which is expressions of gratitude and looking at why they're important, and we will do some of that. But nonetheless, I came across this title and my imagination set forth, and the whole concept of grumbling, because there's been a lot of grumbling going on, particularly this year, with the challenges that we have received, just like the Israelites had challenges in 3,500 years ago. But I want to start this talk with a little vignette about a modern family. It's a little bit stereotypical, but nonetheless, enjoy.
It's Thanksgiving at our house and I'm singing a tune.
I'm cooking in the kitchen, it's what I always have to do. I'm raising 3 crazy kids and feeling twice my age.
I'm reading the paper, it's how I disengage.
I'm brand new to this family, I'm not all that well known.
I really wish everyone would put down their phones. Hey guys, could you put down your phones and say hi to Eric, please?
Hey guys, haven't seen you since the wedding, and I'm just really grateful to be a part of this fam.
I really like football, but not so much people.
We stress about this day because we are dysfunctional. The food is finally ready, it's exactly 12 o'clock, and there's nothing more to do, so I guess we have to talk.
So where's the gravy?
You know what? There's not gravy this year.
Why not?
Long enough,
And so this is our Thanksgiving family, and they've gotten together, and they've ended up in this session of grumbling and complaining and so forth. And we're going to come back to them later in the talk. Whoops. However, I want to take you back 3,500 years when Moses was in the desert with the Hebrews, and they had just spent several hundred years in Egypt. And over time they became enslaved, and they called out to the Lord, and the Lord sent them a savior, Moses. And they, after a great deal of challenges and miracles and so forth, Moses finally was out in the desert, and they had gotten away from the Egyptians, and wouldn't you know it, all of a sudden they realized they were in this new environment which isn't exactly easy. And so they are grumbling and asking questions such as, are we there yet? They're going to the promised land. Are we there yet? Well, not necessarily. So there they are out on the other side of the Red Sea, and things are not comfortable. And so this is Numbers. The story of the Exodus is both in the book of Exodus and also in Numbers, but this is taken from Numbers 11. And now the people complained about their hardships in the hearing of the Lord. And when he heard them, his anger was aroused. Then fire from the Lord burned among them and consumed some of the outskirts of the camp. And so you had this fire come and consume part of that throng. And we are going to look at the metaphysical interpretation of this in a couple of minutes. But I want to take us a little further to understand the context of what is happening. And so here's this little short vignette about whining and grumbling in the desert.
God led his people out of Egypt and through the desert. He wanted them in the desert. He could have taken them along the coastal route, but he chose instead to lead them through the desert in order to test them. The desert is a place of testing because in the desert you cannot make it unless you rely completely on God. God didn't just want to see what his people believed and knew in their hearts. He wanted to see that belief put into action in their lives. He appeared as a pillar of smoke by day and a pillar of fire by night. And after traveling for 2 days, God led the Israelites to a well. However, the water was bitter and they couldn't drink it. And the Israelites became angry and began to whine and grumble against Moses. So God told Moses to put a stick in the well, and the water became sweet. The place was named Marah, which means bitter, because the water was bitter and because the Israelites had a bitter spirit. The Hebrew root of the word Marah also refers to deliberate, defiant disobedience. The Israelites failed their first test. They showed God what was in their hearts, and their hearts were bitter. But God still chose to provide for their needs anyway, and he showed them that they needed to rely on him to heal them of their bitterness, just as he turned the bitter water sweet. God then led them away from Marah, and they came to a place called Elim, where there were 12 wells and 70 palms. Later, the Israelites began to whine and grumble against Moses again. They wanted the food that they had back in Egypt, and so God provided food for them. He sent bread from heaven for them each morning, and every evening he sent flocks of quail through the camp. When the Israelites first saw the bread from heaven lying on the ground, they said, "What is it?" They named the bread manna, which means, "What is it?" The text says that the manna looked like thin flakes of frost, so you could say that God gave them frosted flakes every morning. But God never gave them more than what they needed for the day, their daily bread. And when some of the Israelites tried to hoard the manna, it became infected with maggots. You see, they were trying to rely on their own cleverness rather than on God's daily provision. God then led the Israelites to another desert, where there was again no water, and the people once again began to whine and grumble against Moses. Moses asked, "Why do you quarrel with me? Why do you put the Lord to the test?" And Moses complained about them to God, claiming they were about to stone him. So God told him to go hit a rock with his staff, and when Moses did so, water began gushing forth from the rock, and everyone had enough to drink. Moses called the place Massah and Meribah, which means testing and quarreling.
And so as you can see from this story, they kept coming up against challenges and obstacles, and they would complain about it. And so what does this mean metaphysically? And let's have a look at this. So we're not going to look at the whole story because that can take quite a long time. You can have a course on the metaphysical meaning of the Exodus. But nonetheless, let's look at some key elements of the story as we were looking at today. And so there is Moses. And Moses is the savior. He was sent by God to rescue his people. Now, if you know the story of the Bible, it is the unfoldment of the soul from Adam consciousness to Christ consciousness. And in that process, we're having a human journey. As Teilhard de Chardin said, we are spiritual beings having a human journey, human experience. And in that process, our consciousness is being awakened. And Moses, it represents our higher consciousness. that is leading us through this human experience. So he is the higher consciousness is providing leadership to the sense consciousness of the Israelites. And so the Israelites do represent our sense consciousness, our experience in the world. And our experience in the world is sometimes being captured by Egypt, the sense consciousness, being rescued from dwelling on sense consciousness by Moses, our higher consciousness. And so, and part of the human experience is to encounter challenges and obstacles in life. And through that, we sometimes whine and grumble, and we complain. And whining and complaining is the result of an awareness of the sense consciousness of what's going on in the world. And it does give us relief at certain points. And sometimes it works. After all, God did provide some things. So they're whining and complaining. But I want to go back to the beginning of this story about the fire on the outskirts of the camp. What does that mean? And sometimes as we go through this human journey and we have, and we unexpectedly encounter some challenges and discomfort, we have all these various complaints. And so God's God, who is that infinite presence within us, sloughs off for us all the irrelevant complaints and things. And so the outskirts of the camp was burned. So all the frivolous stuff that we really don't need to pay attention was burned off. Nonetheless, some of the complaints had results. We had sweet water and manna and quails. And in our journey in sense consciousness, sometimes there's an awareness that we have some needs. And so we can go within and make requests and co-create with God. And sometimes that seems to take the form of complaining. But what happened was that Moses, who is our higher consciousness, aligned with God. He prayed to God and he said, here is the complaint. And a solution came forth. And so Moses talks to God. That's our higher consciousness. We may do it in prayer or meditation, aligning with that infinite presence. And one more point, which wasn't in the vignette, but the Israelites didn't go along the coast and then didn't make it to the promised land quickly. They took 40 years, which most of you know means that as long as it takes. Now, what is it that they wanted? They needed to be in the desert for 40 years. They needed to change their outlook on life. They needed to learn to turn to God, to that infinite presence, to know that they can co-create. And what it does say in the Bible is that the old generation died off. And what that metaphysically means is that our old ideas die away. And as we have new experiences, we come up with new solutions and new ways of relating to the divine on our spiritual journey. And throughout the ages, and through the Bible and through other wisdom sayings, we are reminded of this, as Isaiah says when the Israelites were in Babylon in exile. Nothing can defeat you because God is with you. And so that if you know that the infinite presence is always there, you can access and resources will come forth. So the question then comes up, is it wrong to complain to God? Well, maybe it's wrong and maybe it isn't. Some complaints seem to get results. Other complaints got fire. And so how do we know the difference? Well, there are many categories, or there are many aspects to complaining. There's grumbling, there's whining, there's venting, and there's doing a variety of things. And so we can look at the difference between venting and complaining. And venting can be helpful. So let's have a look at the differences. In complaining, there is a sense of powerlessness, feeling that nothing will ever change. You know, my boss is just so annoying. He's always catching me off guard and giving me extra work. And it can be momentarily satisfying and feeling self-righteous. There's a form of judgment within it. And if we hold on to that, the joy seeps out of life. And upset can increase and decrease morale. The Israelites, just after they had crossed the Red Sea, they were grumbling and some wanted to go back to Egypt, as if being enslaved was better than the unknown. And this constant complaining can damage relationships, sometimes in our day-to-day relationships, whether it's with our partner, our children, or our co-workers at work. If we constantly complain about little things, people stop listening to us. And as I said earlier, it takes the joy out of the blessings that are around us. We don't see what's right. And then we can look at venting. Venting is defined as a release, a cathartic tactic for blowing off steam. And sometimes we have something comes up that's really a challenge. We don't have water in the desert. Well, that can be dangerous. And so we have to find a solution. And it's a healing expression of emotions that may be suppressed. But you need to have a safe space to do that with a friend or a partner or one's mother. You know, it was this Friday afternoon, late afternoon, and my boss comes in with this project that I need for Monday. And I mean, how could he do that? I had my weekend all planned. And this is just, it's just outrageous. And if your listener can lead you to ask some questions, well, does your boss do this all the time? Well, no, actually, he's usually pretty good. I was really surprised at this. Well, can you leave it until Monday? Well, no, we really do need it on Monday. And so you can be disappointed, you can complain, you can vent, but you can deal with the situation. And it can bring back equilibrium when one is seething or off balance. So sometimes we need that release to let go of an issue. So stop complaining and take back control. When we're complaining, we're often not in control. And complaining can become addictive. And so we're going to have a look at that in a moment. But how do we move on from complaining? Well, Michael Jackson has a thought for us.
I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and then make a change.
Yes, so you can look at yourself and make a change. So how do you make a change? What is it that we can do? Especially if we've if we've gotten into the habit, and a lot of people have gotten into a habit. You look at some of the responses to COVID-19, where people are complaining and my freedoms are being taken away, and they agitate with each other. Well, coming back to the title of this talk, there are 12 steps, and of course it starts with Alcoholics Anonymous, looking at things that get out of control in our lives. And there's Narcotics Anonymous, Overeaters Anonymous, there's all kinds of groups. And sometimes there's an imaginary group called Grumblers Anonymous. Now the 12 steps in this case have been represented by one word. And there's surrender and hope and faith and honesty and trust and so forth. We're not going to look at all 12 steps, but we are going to look at the first 3, surrender and hope and faith, and see how they can be used in conjunction with unity teachings to maybe get us away from this whole idea of grumbling and whining and complaining. And so the first step, which represents surrender, and it is an acknowledgement that we have a problem. So our awareness has to shift, that we have a problem and we want to do something about it. And the iteration of this step, I've seen several different ones. This is the one I found at this point. We admitted we were powerless over complaining, and that our lives had become unmanageable. This is what was happening to the Israelites. And it's actually happening across Canada and the US and the world, that people are complaining and they're not using good sense to solve their problems. And their lives are unmanageable. And the next step is about hope. And we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. And this is a belief and a recognition that there is a presence. In unity, we have that infinite presence, that mystery that is God, the creator of all things. But the 12 steps have been put into practice by many denominations, and they have various views of what God is, or what the higher power is, or how they want to express it. And so the this third step refers to faith. And we made a decision, and this is really important, that once you become aware that you have a challenge, a problem, something like complaining, or whether it's one of the other issues, we make a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understand Him. And we understand God from Unity's first principle and second principle and third principle, you know, that God is omniscient, omnipresent, and so we can access this infinite power, this ever-present power, that we can align with it, and we can turn our lives over to it, and we can align with it in meditation and in prayer, and we connect with that ever-present power through that inner voice. And so we learn how to access that higher power that is within us. The kingdom is within us. The Father and I are one. And so we have the ability to connect with that. And as Isaiah in another chapter reminds us, fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. And righteous generally refers to the whole idea of right thinking, of being aligned with the divine. And so we are reminded that when we align ourselves with the divine and we give our lives over to the inspiration from the divine, that we can find solutions to our problems and we cannot be held captive by them. And another way to do that, to align ourselves with the divine, is by following the advice of Meister Eckhart, who in the 13th century said, if the only prayer you ever say in your life, your entire life, is thank you, it will be enough. So there's something about gratitude, about saying thank you, that brings us closer and in alignment with that creative energy in the universe. So let us come back to our family and see how they're doing.
On this Thanksgiving, we thank God for family. On this Thanksgiving, we thank God for family. On this
She's right. Why do we fight?
Thanksgiving,
It's not just you, it's my sin too. And family, and that's enough. It's crazy how we sweat the small stuff. We have our flaws, more than a few.
Thanksgiving,
I feel at home cause my family's got them too. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. So on this day, we thank our King for family and a happy Thanksgiving.
So,
This is great.
And so this is a quick solution, and it sounds, all we have to do is say, thank you, God, and everything goes right. Well, in its fundamental aspect, that's true. But these idealized situations aren't the way life happens. And yet, we can still use these principles to turn around challenging moments and times, both with family, with friends, with workmates, and all kinds of environments. And another piece of advice we are given is that a heart filled with gratitude leaves no room for complaints. And so that is one thing that we do on Thanksgiving, is really take in that whole consciousness of gratitude. Emily Cady says to us that that there is something about the mental act of Thanksgiving that seems to carry the human mind far beyond the region of doubt and into the clear atmosphere of faith and trust when all things are possible. And so I want to consider some affirmations of gratitude, and I'm going to read some to you, and I'm going to ask you then I'm going to read them each one twice. First, I'll read it, and then I'm going to ask you to read it along with me. And if there's one that particularly resonates with you, you may want to remember it or write it down or so forth. So the first one, I claim a heart of gratitude, which refuses to surrender to frivolous complaints and frustrations of this world, and instead opens to the joys and blessings that appear all around me. So once again, I claim a heart of gratitude, which refuses to surrender to frivolous complaints and frustrations of this world, and instead opens to the joys and blessings that appear all around me. Every day I choose to look and be grateful for the opportunities to live from a loving heart. And so together, every day I choose to look and be grateful for the opportunities to live from a loving heart. I am thankful for my family, friends, and all of the people in my life that make each day special. Again, I am thankful for my family, friends, and all of the people in my life that make each day special. And I am grateful for the guidance that sometimes appears in disguise to usher me back to love. Again, I am grateful for the guidance that sometimes appears in disguise to usher me back to love. And I believe this is the last one. And I thank you for this day, Thanksgiving. I consciously express my gratitude to expand love for my family, my community, and my world. And to close the talk, I want to refer to Charles Fillmore and his wisdom. It is the law of spirit that we must be that which we would draw to us. If we would draw to us love, we must be love, be loving and kind. And if we would have peace and harmony in our environment, we must establish it within ourselves. And so we let go of the complaints and we establish peace and harmony. And so let us take these thoughts into meditation, and we will have Karen Drucker lead us in a song, and then I will take us into meditation.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm
before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 I'm so grateful.
And so now we go into meditation. And so allow yourself to relax and take a deep breath. This is the breath of God, the life within us. Close your eyes if you are comfortable and allow the chair to fully support you. Feel your connection to the earth as it grounds you. And take the following words as your own, wherever they resonate with your own inner truth. God is the divine spirit that created everything and is continuously creating. I am an expression of the divine, co-creating my life. As a point of consciousness in spirit, I am open to love, light, and joy. I am grateful for the source, for the life that is mine. I am grateful for the people in my life that enrich it. I am grateful for the resources that give me support. I let each breath take me deeper and deeper within. I move to the silent place within. I easily let go of distractions from the outer world. I breathe in clarity and breathe out confusion. I breathe in peace and breathe out disharmony. I breathe in and I breathe out, becoming more at peace and more relaxed. I am divinely guided in all I do. And as I listen to the still small voice within, I open my heart and let God's love flow to me in the silence. And the silence enfolds me in love. And from the place of stillness, I feel the light of God within me, expanding to every part of my body, making me conscious of the vibration of love. As I bring myself back to the present moment and awareness of this time and place, I feel my consciousness fill with gratitude. I remind myself that there is nothing more to do right now except to allow the energy to flow. I feel myself fully present to this moment. I give thanks as I make my life a work of love. I give thanks for Thanksgiving as a day that I consciously express gratitude, although I express gratitude every day of my life. And so thank you, beloved Spirit, for all the blessings that flow into my life. And so it is. Amen.
Sorry about that, folks. So I and Unity York Region really wants to take this opportunity to thank all of you for your continued support as you have freely given from your hearts and allowed that love to flow through you and our spiritual community. It allows us to continue to serve you and to serve the world. We are 100% self-supporting ministry funded by the generous love offerings from our community. So from the deepest depths of our hearts, we thank you. And you can continue to support us. It's always in the email. It's also for anyone watching and you feel called to support us. It will be in the captions of this video. You can send us an e-transfer. A link will also be provided in our email. Well, it's always in our emails and in the captions where you can do online giving, and you can do one-time or reoccurring monthly love offerings, or you can do the old-fashioned way, snail mail to the address on the screen, which is also on our website and on the various platforms that you can find our group. So if we'd like to place our hands on our hearts, because we will now bless these love offerings and this wonderful support, and if we can affirm together, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. God is my source. Thank you, God.
Well, I'm
Oops.
grateful for this gift to mend my deeper mind and build a new belief that allows my light to shine. And I'm grateful I can change and become a butterfly, embrace my open wings and surrender to the sky. Infinite love and gratitude in this moment is my attitude, giving thanks for all I'm coming through, freeing my faith and fortitude. Infinite love and gratitude move me with great magnitude. Yeah, present peace is what I choose, infinite love and gratitude. I'm grateful for my growth, the pleasure and the pain, all I've held inside through the sunshine and the rain. Now I'm grateful I can live in balance as I thrive and awaken the one true spirit I see soaring in my eyes. Infinite love and gratitude in this moment is my attitude, giving thanks for all I'm coming through, freeing my faith and fortitude. Infinite love and gratitude move me with great magnitude. Yeah, present peace is what I choose, infinite love and gratitude. Now with the power of my self-love. I'm creating a world of art, reconnecting me with all I see from the lifeline of my heart. Infinite love and gratitude, in this moment is my attitude. Giving thanks for all I'm coming through, freeing my faith and fortitude. Infinite love and gratitude move me with great magnitude. Yeah, present peace is what I choose. Infinite love and gratitude. Now may all our days be filled with infinite love and gratitude. Infinite love and gratitude, everybody.
And so that's what we share. And so
And let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
We are now surrounded and enfolded by the pure white light of spirit. Nothing but good shall come to us, and only good shall go from us. Go forth in peace, love, and grateful abundance. Amen.
Thank you, everyone. Have a happy Thanksgiving and a blessed week.